Hello, good morning. I'm Atu Dimmer and watching Hornbill TV's Morning Pulse. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday underscored the death of India-Malaysia ties, saying that India's success is intrinsically linked with Malaysia's success and in turn Asia's success, as he outlined that the partnership between the two nations was guided by the vision of Impact India-Malaysia Partnership for Advancing Collective Transformation. Addressing the India diaspora in Kuala Lumpur, Prime Minister Modi, who is on a two-day visit to the Southeast Asian country, said that two nations celebrate each other's achievement as their own and acknowledged Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's goodwill gestures, including his wishes following the success of Chandrayaan-3.
Our relationship with Malaysia is scaling new heights each year. In 2024, during the visit of Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim to New Delhi, we elevated our ties to a comprehensive strategic partnership. Today, we walk hand in hand as partners towards progress and prosperity. We celebrate each other's success just as our own. I was touched by Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's good wishes on the historic success of Chandrayaan-3. I agree with you, my dear friend. India's success is Malaysia's success. It is Asia's success. That is why I say the guiding word of our relationship is impact. Impact means India-Malaysia partnership for advancing collective transformation. Impact on the speed of our relations. Impact on the scale of our ambitions. Impact for the benefit of our people. Together, we can benefit the entire humanity. Friends, Indian companies have always been keen to work with Malaysia. It is a privilege that we played a part in creating Malaysia's first and Asia's largest insulin manufacturing facility. Over 100 Indian IT companies operate in Malaysia, generating thousands of jobs. The Malaysia-India Digital Council is paving new pathways for our digital collaboration. I'm happy to share with you that India's UPI will come to Malaysia soon.
Speaking at the event, Malaysia Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim said that gathering recognizes something deep and enduring between the two nations. He further said when Malaysia embarked on building a great nation from its diversity, the Indian community was an integral partner in that journey.
It was a real honor. And as I told you in the car, that I am personally very excited, very thankful, very appreciative that I have a great friend from India joining us in Malaysia. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this gathering recognizes something deep and enduring between two nations. Long before there were embassies and trade agreements, long before there were nation states traders, scholars, and sailors across the Indian Ocean between the subcontinent, Indian subcontinent, and the Malay archipelago. Consider the Bali Yatra, one of the oldest maritime commemorations observed in India. It honors that the ancient seafarers who set out from the eastern coast of India for the ports of Southeast Asia some 2,000 years ago. Guided by the monsoon winds, they made harbor along the Malay Peninsula, bringing spices, textiles, and precious goods. In the centuries that followed, Indians came to Malaysia in great numbers to work in the plantations, to build railways and ports, to staff hospitals, schools, and government offices. They helped clear the interiors. They laid rail tracks linking towns to the coast. Alongside their Malay and Chinese neighbors, they helped build the foundation of a great Malaysian economy and country. And Prime Minister Modi ji, let me assure you, when Malaysia embarked on the great project of building a nation from its diversity, the Indian community, my brothers and sisters, was an integral partner in that journey. Like many of us,
Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal on Saturday assured that the India-US trade deal framework will not harm Indian farmers, MSMEs, artisans or craftsmen, and said their interests remain fully protected. He said that the agreement will instead help Indian farmers by opening the US market to their products. Agricultural products from Indian farmers will be exported to the United States at zero duty. At the same time, no tariff concessions have been granted for agricultural products from US farmers entering the Indian market, he said. Goyal said the deal improves conditions for Indian exporters. He said the 50% reciprocal tariff has been reduced to 18%, which is less compared to our neighboring countries and will provide a lot of help to our exporters. The deal brings new hopes and opportunities in India's growth story. The Commerce Minister stressed that Indian producers will gain more access to the US market. I can state categorically and without any hesitation that India's farmers, MSMEs, artisans and craftsmen will not suffer any loss. On the contrary, India will benefit from greater access to the US market, he said.
इन सभी वस्तुओं पे किसी प्रकार की रियायत इस एग्रीमेंट के द्वारा नहीं दी गई है। मैं डंके की चोट पर कह सकता हूं कि किसी प्रकार से ये करार भारत और यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका के बीच भारत के किसानों के हितों को, भारत के एमएसएमईज को, भारत के हैंडीक्राफ्ट और हैंडलूम को किसी प्रकार का कोई नुकसान नहीं पहुंचाता है। भारत और यूएस के इस एग्रीमेंट के द्वारा कई सारे किसानी क्षेत्र के सामान पर शून्य कोई लाभ में इंपोर्ट करते हुए दिया गया है। कोई लाभ नहीं दिया गया, कोई रियायत नहीं दी गई है। लोग सोचते थे ना कि भाई किसानी क्षेत्र में सब खुल जाएगा। हमने कोई ऐसा काम नहीं किया है जिसमें किसी भी किसान को नुकसान हो सके। जो वस्तु भारत में सेंसिटिव है, हमारे किसान पर्याप्त मात्रा में बनाते हैं, जिसमें हम आत्मनिर्भर हैं, उन सब वस्तुओं को इस एग्रीमेंट के दायरे से बाहर रखा गया है। उसमें भारत ने कोई छूट नहीं दी है। जैसे कि उदाहरण के लिए जीएम का बना हुआ जेनेटिकली मॉडिफाइड कोई वस्तु भारत में नहीं आएगा। मीट, उस पर कोई रियायत नहीं दी गई है। पोल्ट्री, कोई रियायत नहीं दी गई है। डेयरी के कोई वस्तु के ऊपर कोई रियायत नहीं दी गई है। सोया मिल कोई रियायत नहीं दी गई है। मेज कोई रियायत नहीं दी गई है। मेज यानी मक्का, कोई रियायत नहीं है। चावल, गेहूं, चीनी, सीरियल्स, ये कोई रियायत नहीं दी गई है। मिलेट जैसे ज्वार, बाजरा, रागी, कोडो, अमरनाथ, इस पर कोई रियायत नहीं दी गई है। फल जो भारत में पर्याप्त मात्रा में बनते हैं, जैसे केला, बनाना, स्ट्रॉबेरी, चेरीज, सिट्रस फ्रूट, उस पर कोई रियायत नहीं दी गई है। ग्रीन पी, काबुली चना, मूंग, कोई रियायत नहीं दी गई है। ऑयल सीड्स, कोई रियायत नहीं दी गई है। कुछ एनिमल फीड के प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, ग्राउंडनट्स, हनी, मॉल्ट और मॉल्ट से बना हुआ सामान, नॉन अल्कोहलिक बिवरेजेस, फ्लावर एंड मील्स, स्टार्च, एसेंशियल ऑयल्स, इथेनॉल जो बड़े पैमाने में भारत में बन रहा है, और टोबैको जो हमारा एक प्रकार से निर्यात होता है बड़े रूप में, इन सभी वस्तुओं पे किसी प्रकार की रियायत इस एग्रीमेंट के द्वारा नहीं दी गई है। और इसीलिए मैं डंके की चोट पर कह सकता हूं कि किसी प्रकार से ये करार भारत और यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका के बीच भारत के किसानों के हितों को, भारत के एमएसएमईज को, भारत के हैंडीक्राफ्ट और हैंडलूम को किसी प्रकार का कोई नुकसान नहीं पहुंचाता है।
Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma on Saturday reacted to AIMIM Chief Azharuddin Owaissi's ₹2 comment while speaking to reporters on Saturday in Guwahati. Responding to the remarks, CM Sarma stated that Owaisi wants to give him ₹2. He will accept it. It is also money after all. It can be used for Assam development. The Chief Minister's statement came after Owaisi responded to Sarma's comment where he said if an auto driver is a Muslim, give him less than the actual fare.
मैं ले लेगा, ₹2 भी तो रुपया है, वो भी दे दीजिए ना, असम का डेवलपमेंट के लिए काम आएगा। लेकिन कहाँ दिया है, मेरा पास आएगा वो पैसा? क्या बोला है कि हिमंत बिश्व शर्मा को ₹2 दूंगा, तो मैं तो लेने के लिए मैं तैयार हूँ, लेकिन जाने में तो खर्चा ज्यादा लग जाएगा मेरा, तो इसीलिए मेरा पास आके वो दे के जाए, मैं ले लूंगा।
Himanta Biswa Sarma also made a controversial remark targeting the Congress party, claiming that one of its leaders consumes 3 kg of mutton every day. The Chief Minister further added another meat also eats. His statement has triggered political reactions as the remark was seen as an indirect attack on Congress leaders amid the party's ongoing political activities in Assam.
अंदर में एक व्यक्ति है, वो दिन में 3 kg मटन खाते हैं। बास का अंदर में ऐसा एक नेता है जिसको 3 kg मटन चाहिए। ब्रेकफास्ट शुरू करता है पुलाव और मटन से, तो अंदर में खाएगा तो कहाँ रुकेगा? तो आप लोग खबर कीजिए, और बास में एक व्यक्ति है जो सुबह का ब्रेकफास्ट पुलाव और मटन से शुरू करता है, दूसरा मांस भी खाते हैं, उसका नाम नहीं लेता हूँ मैं।
Foreign expert Robindra Sachdev on Saturday while commenting on India-US interim trade deal and said India did not commit to buy $500 billion in American goods over the next 5 years as reported. He explained that there was confusion about this number on 2 counts. The $500 billion bilateral trade target and different. This 2030 targets has been discussed since Joe Biden was vice president. The other mentioned $500 billion is that India intends to purchase $500 billion in goods from the US over 5 years. This is a separate discussion. He said India will import goods from the US over the next 5 years.
Russian oil, I think it's very clear it is contingent on that, and Trump has again said that they will set up a panel to monitor that India is reducing import of Russian oil. The reasons for us to reduce the import of Russian oil are definitely that the tariffs we are facing 50% and the writing on the wall that there could be another 500% tariffs because there's a bill in the US Senate and the House which would impose 500%. So the bottom line decision for India was, does it make economic sense to keep buying Russian oil or to reduce that so that we do not lose out much more on the other side of the ledger. So that's one. 18% tariffs, fine. The other key issue was agriculture or opening of India's agriculture sectors. I think broadly they have been protected, so to say, right? Dairy, there's no mention of dairy, at least in the first statement that I've seen. Piyush Goyal had a press conference, he's given further details there. But the key thing is that in agriculture, yes, India, we will import more soybean oil. We will also import, or the tariffs will be reduced on fresh fruits. So I think these are two sectors in India, in the agriculture sector, which could see some little or whatever impact. Soybean, in any case, we import about 70%. We only produce 30% for our needs. We need to import 70%. We are importing right now from Argentina, Brazil. We'll now, maybe if it's cheaper, American soybean oil would come. Fruits, yes, would be a segment which could see some ups and downs. So that's the agri sector. The other is the number of $500 billion. I think there is confusion about this number on two counts. The $500 billion target as bilateral trade is something different. And this target for 2030 has been talked about since Joe Biden was vice president in 2013. Then also America and India were looking at $500 billion of bilateral trade by the year 2030. So this deal further kind of, mentions that. The other mention of $500 billion is that India intends to purchase $500 billion of goods from America over 5 years. So this is a separate discussion of $500 billion that India will import in the next 5 years, which will include energy, definitely one, oil and gas, could be, aircrafts, could be, precious metals. We need rare earth critical minerals if the US is able to provide, and such. So that is the intention of India. It is not that India has committed it will buy $500 billion of American goods in the next 5 years. India has said that we intend to. So there's a difference between intention and commitment of buying $500 billion worth over the next 5 years. That is separate than a different target of $500 billion two-way trade every year. So these are some issues or some points that I see in the deal.
Union Minister for Electronics and Information Technology Ashwini Vaishnav on Saturday highlighted India's data center boom with $70 billion invested so far and expectations to reach $200 billion. This growth will create opportunities for startups, service providers and AI innovation. Speaking at a Qualcomm event to announce 2-nanometer chip of the company which has been developed in India, Vaishnav said data centers are going to be a major growth journey in the coming years. The focus is on strengthening India's AI capabilities with data centers enabling startups to develop and offer solutions globally. Vaishnav emphasized the need to robust computing facilities to support this growth. This comes after the announcement of the interim framework of the India-US trade agreement. India and the US announced a framework for an interim agreement regarding reciprocal and mutually beneficial trade.
IP sovereignty.
So data centers is going to be a major growth journey in the coming years. So far we have committed investments of $70 billion. If we add the other announcements, it's about $90 billion. But I expect that in the coming months, this number will go beyond $200 billion. That is the general expectation once we talk to the industry. That's the general expectation which is coming up. And that will generate new opportunities for our service providers, for the young startups who can provide new solutions, and it's going to create that strength which is needed in all the 5 layers of the AI architecture, AI stack. We need strength in each one of that. Many of our startups will be very keen on having more and more compute facility available in our country through these data centers so that they can use it for developing solutions and for also providing the solutions to the world. Your second part of the question was? IP, for whichever company is doing their development here, they have their own policies, and according to those policies they decide where the IP is. No, our country is making major progress. We'll start again. Friends, thank you very much for joining us today. As you know, our country is making major progress in the semiconductor manufacturing, design, and getting the entire ecosystem in our country. It's a new industry. I'm very happy to share with you that today we unveiled the 2 nanometer wafer, 2 nanometer chip at Qualcomm. This is in that series of many companies. AMD has done it. Now Qualcomm has done it. It's a series of developments where companies are now designing end-to-end product in India. Gone are those days when most of the development, the back office development work was being done here. And now the entire, right from customer product definition to designing the final silicon, getting it taped out and getting it validated, that entire thing is being done in India. So this is a major development for our country, for our industry. I would like to thank all those pioneers here in Qualcomm who have taken that challenge. A couple of years ago when Savi and Cristiano we met, I requested them that please go for the most advanced designs in India. And thank you, Savi, for keeping that request. And please convey my regards to Cristiano for taking up that challenge and doing it in India. And congratulations to the entire team who have put in huge efforts to do it in India. This is the wafer in.
Bahujan Samaj Party Chief Mayawati on Saturday alleged conspiracies to weaken the party, saying party workers will be alerted to them. Addressing a press conference ahead of the PSP workers meeting in line with the 2027 Uttar Pradesh Legislative Assembly elections, Mayawati said that the party's attention will be drawn to the issues of the poor, Dalits, tribal people, backward classes and religious minorities. UP is scheduled to hold assembly elections in 2027, where the BSP will look to make a comeback after poor results in 2022 polls. The Mayawati-led BSP was once in power in the state was reduced to just 1 seat in 2022 polls. In the run-up to the polls, Mayawati has signaled a shift in the party's stance on key issues.
कि उत्तर प्रदेश में विधानसभा के आम चुनाव होने के लिए अब समय काफी कम रह गया है, जिसे खास ध्यान में रखकर ही यहाँ बीएसपी के लोगों को पार्टी व मूवमेंट के हित में जरूरी दिशा निर्देश देने के लिए आज पार्टी की ये प्रदेश स्तरीय अति महत्वपूर्ण व बड़ी बैठक बुलाई गई है, जिसमें पार्टी के प्रदेश, मंडल, जिला व सभी 403 विधानसभा की सीटों के अध्यक्ष एवं विधानसभा के प्रभारी तथा भाईचारा संगठन आदि के भी सभी संयोजक गण भाग ले रहे हैं। और इस बैठक में खासकर पार्टी संगठन के कार्यों की व सर्व समाज में पार्टी के जनाधार को बढ़ाने के लिए दिए गए कार्यों की तथा पार्टी की हर वर्ष की सालाना गतिविधियों को चलाने के लिए पार्टी की आर्थिक मदद हेतु दिए गए कार्यों की भी विस्तार से चर्चा की जाएगी। हालांकि इस दौरान पिछले कुछ महीनों से यहाँ वोटों के एसआईआर का कार्य होने की वजह से पार्टी के अधिकांश कार्य काफी प्रभावित व विलंब हो गए हैं। उन्हें अब जल्दी ही पूरा करने के लिए विशेष कदम उठाए जाएंगे, जिसके लिए ही आज पार्टी की ये खास बैठक बुलाई गई है। इसके अलावा विरोधी पार्टियों द्वारा बीएसपी को कमजोर करने के लिए जो आए दिन नए नए हथकंडे व षड्यंत्र आदि रचे जा रहे हैं, तो उनसे भी पार्टी के लोगों को सचेत किया जाएगा। साथ ही इस बैठक में देश में सर्व समाज में से खासकर गरीबों, दलितों, आदिवासियों, पिछड़े वर्गों, मुस्लिम एवं अन्य धार्मिक अल्पसंख्यक समाज के लोगों के साथ साथ किसानों, मजदूरों, कर्मचारियों, व्यापारियों व अन्य मेहनतकश लोगों की भी केंद्र व राज्यों में पूर्व की रही सरकारों की तरह वर्तमान सरकारों में भी जो इनकी खराब व दयनीय स्थिति बनी हुई है, तो उनकी तरफ भी पार्टी के लोगों का ध्यान आकर्षित किया जाएगा।
That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.